What if I told you that a healthy breakfast food, one you've probably trusted for years, is secretly fueling the very joint pain and brain fog you've been told are just a normal part of getting older? There is a silent enemy hiding in your pantry, an invisible saboteur that your body, after 65, can no longer fight off quietly. It masquerades as a sensible choice, but it is actively working against your vitality, dimming your inner light with each passing morning. The frustration you feel, that sense that your body is no longer your own, is not your fault. Stay with me for just a few minutes, because I'm about to reveal what this food is, and more importantly, how one simple change can help you reclaim the vibrant energy you rightfully believed was lost for good. I'm Dr. Megan Fisher, and I've dedicated my career to women's wellness, specifically for those of us navigating life after 65. For too long, I've seen incredible women come into my office feeling dismissed, their legitimate concerns about fatigue, aches, and mental slowness brushed aside with a condescending, "You're just getting older." I am here today to tell you that this is not an acceptable answer. It's a lazy diagnosis that ignores the profound and intimate connection between what you eat, the inflammation in your body, and how you feel every single day. We are not going to talk about accepting decline. We are going to talk about actively reversing it by understanding your body's signals and giving it the nourishment it truly needs to thrive, not just survive. Let's talk about that feeling of stiffness that greets you when you first get out of bed, or the frustrating brain fog that makes you lose your train of thought mid-sentence. And what about that stubborn weight around your middle that refuses to budge, no matter how little you eat? These are not random symptoms of aging. They are distress signals from your body, clear signs of chronic, low-grade inflammation. I want you to think of it as a small, silent fire burning constantly inside your body. This internal fire disrupts the delicate orchestra of your hormones, spikes your stress hormone cortisol, which stores fat, and methodically drains the very life force from your cells. It is the real reason you feel tired, achy, and simply not like the woman you know you are. This silent fire does more than just attack your joints and cloud your mind. It quietly erodes your confidence and steals your independence. It's the nagging fear behind every forgotten word, making you worry if this is the first step towards something worse. It's the ache in your knees that turns you from a participant in life into a spectator, watching your grandchildren play from a distance. This slow burn creates a feeling of invisibility, a sense that the vibrant, capable woman you once were is fading away. But I am here to deliver a message of profound hope. This is not an irreversible sentence. That fire is being fed by specific triggers, and you hold the power to stop providing the fuel. You can reclaim your clarity, your energy, and your life. Let me share a story with you, one that I hear in my clinic far too often. It's the story of Susan, a wonderful 67-year-old woman with a warm smile and eyes that used to sparkle with a love for life. Susan came to me feeling utterly hopeless, a shadow of the vibrant woman she once was. She confessed, her voice trembling slightly, that her greatest joy, her garden, had become a source of pain and frustration. The simple act of kneeling to tend to her roses, something that once brought her peace, now sent shooting pains through her knees, reminding her of what she had lost. She felt like her body had become a prison, forcing her to watch life from the sidelines. In her younger years, Susan was the definition of vitality. She was the one organizing neighborhood potlucks, leading hiking trips with her friends, and spending entire weekends transforming her backyard into a floral paradise. She had an energy that seemed boundless, a natural force that drew people to her. Her husband often joked that he needed a schedule just to keep up with her. She never thought about her joints or her energy levels. They were simply there, reliable tools that allowed her to build a life filled with activity and connection. That version of Susan felt like a distant memory to her, a character from a book she could no longer relate to. The change was gradual, a slow and insidious creep of stiffness that began in her late 50s. At first, it was just a minor annoyance, a morning ache that would fade as the day went on. But after she turned 65, the ache settled in for good. It wasn't just in her knees anymore. It was in her hips, her back, her hands. The vibrant gardener was replaced by a woman who had to carefully plan every movement. Getting out of a chair required a strategy. Walking up the stairs became a monumental task. The spontaneity she once cherished was gone, replaced by a constant draining awareness of her own physical limitations. This physical decline had a profound impact on her spirit. She described feeling like a spectator in her own life, watching her husband go for walks they used to take together, or seeing her grandchildren play in the yard she could no longer manage. The pain wasn't just in her joints. It was a deep emotional ache of being left behind. She felt a growing sense of invisibility, as if the world was moving on at a speed she could no longer match. Her confidence, once so strong, had eroded with every activity she had to give up, leaving her feeling frail and older than her years. The most heartbreaking part for Susan was the strain it put on her relationship. Her husband, a kind and supportive man, tried his best to understand, but she could see the worry in his eyes. He missed the woman he married, the adventurous partner who was always ready for the next project. "I can tell he misses the woman I was," she told me, tears welling up. This feeling of being a burden, of no longer being the capable partner she prided herself on being, was a heavy weight on her soul, far heavier than the physical pain she endured daily. And here is the crucial piece of the puzzle, the part that so many women overlook. Every single morning, believing she was making a healthy choice, Susan would start her day with a bowl of instant oatmeal, often with a little brown sugar for taste. She thought she was doing everything right, choosing a breakfast that was marketed as heart-healthy and sensible. She had no idea that this seemingly innocent meal was the very thing fueling the inflammatory fire raging within her body, methodically adding to her pain and draining her of the life she so desperately missed. Then there is Carol, a 72-year-old widow with a brilliant mind and a desire for new adventures. After losing her husband a few years ago, she decided she wasn't going to let her golden years pass her by. She dreamed of traveling to Italy, of joining a book club, and maybe even dipping her toes back into the dating world. She had a list of things she wanted to do, places she wanted to see, but a pervasive and terrifying fog had descended upon her, keeping her anchored at home, her dreams just out of reach. Carol's biggest fear was not loneliness, but a loss of her sharp intellect. She'd always been the one friends came to for advice, the one who could solve any crossword puzzle. Now she found herself forgetting words mid-sentence, losing her train of thought while telling a story. These senior moments were more than just embarrassing. They were terrifying. Each forgotten name felt like a warning sign, a step toward the mental decline she dreaded most. How could she possibly navigate a foreign country, or engage in a witty conversation on a date when she couldn't trust her own mind? This mental fog was accompanied by a profound and bone-deep exhaustion that would hit her by noon each day. It wasn't the pleasant tiredness after a day of fulfilling activity. It was a heavy, oppressive fatigue that made even simple tasks feel overwhelming. She'd wake up with plans, but by lunchtime, the energy she had was completely gone, as if a plug had been pulled. She told me, "I've lost my spark, Dr. Megan. The woman who wanted to see the world is gone, and this tired, forgetful person is left in her place." This combination of brain fog and fatigue kept her isolated. She turned down invitations from friends, afraid she wouldn't be able to keep up with the conversation, or that she'd have to leave early due to exhaustion. The fear of becoming a burden, of being the one who slowed everyone down, was a powerful deterrent. Her world, which should have been expanding in her retirement, was shrinking day by day. The vibrant, confident woman she knew she was on the inside was trapped, unable to break through the haze of inflammation clouding her mind and body. Carol, much like Susan, was a victim of misinformation. Her go-to healthy breakfast was 2 slices of whole wheat toast with a bit of jam. She'd been told for decades that whole grains were the cornerstone of a good diet. She chose it because it was quick, easy, and supposed to be good for her. She was diligently starting her day with the very food that was triggering a cascade of inflammation, spiking her blood sugar, and directly contributing to the cognitive and energetic decline that was stealing her dreams and her confidence. The stories of Susan and Carol are not unique. They are the stories of millions of women who have been told their symptoms are just an inevitable part of aging. But it's not the years in your life. It's the inflammation in your body that's dimming your light, Let's look at the science behind this, but in a way that is simple and clear. Think back to that concept of the silent fire. The wrong foods act as the kindling, and for many women over 65, the most common kindling is hiding in plain sight: high glycemic grains and sugars often found in breakfast foods. When you eat something like instant oatmeal, processed whole wheat bread, or many healthy cereals, your body converts them into sugar almost instantly. This causes a rapid and dramatic spike in your blood sugar levels. Your body, in an attempt to manage this sudden surge, releases a flood of the hormone insulin. Insulin's job is to shuttle that sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy. It's a normal and necessary process, but the key is the intensity and frequency of these spikes, which create a state of constant emergency within your system. For a woman over 65 whose hormonal system is already in a delicate state of rebalancing after menopause, this constant flood of insulin is a major problem. It's a powerful pro-inflammatory trigger. I want you to imagine your hormonal system as a finely tuned orchestra, with each hormone playing its part in perfect harmony. A massive insulin spike is like a loud, clanging cymbal crashing into the middle of a delicate violin solo. It throws the entire orchestra into chaos, creating a cascade of hormonal imbalance and, most importantly, widespread, chronic inflammation. This inflammatory chaos directly impacts another critical hormone, cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone. When your system is constantly dealing with the stress of blood sugar spikes and the resulting inflammation, your cortisol levels remain chronically elevated. This is not the healthy, short-term stress response your body is designed for. It's a long-term state of high alert. This sustained high cortisol level is a major contributor to that stubborn, frustrating belly fat that so many women struggle with after 65, as it signals your body to store fat, particularly around your midsection. Let's connect this directly back to Susan's joint pain. The inflammatory molecules, called cytokines, that are released during this process don't just stay in one place. They travel throughout your body via your bloodstream. When they reach your joints, they attack the sensitive tissues and cartilage, creating pain, swelling, and stiffness. It's a direct assault. So every morning that Susan ate her healthy oatmeal, she was unknowingly sending a fresh wave of these inflammatory attackers directly to her already aching knees, hips, and hands, worsening her condition day by day. Now, let's look at Carol's brain fog. Your brain is incredibly sensitive to inflammation. The same inflammatory molecules that attack the joints can also cross the blood-brain barrier. Once there, they disrupt the communication between your brain cells, creating that frustrating feeling of mental slowness and difficulty with memory recall. It essentially starves your brain of the clear, calm environment it needs to function optimally. You are not losing your mind. Your brain is simply trying to operate in a constant state of inflammatory static, making clear thought incredibly difficult. This isn't just a theory. It's backed by extensive scientific research. Recent studies published in prestigious publications, like the Toon Journal of Gerontology, have established a direct and undeniable link between diet-induced inflammation and a measurable decline in both cognitive function and physical mobility in older adults. The evidence is clear. The high-sugar, high-grain diets that have been promoted for decades are a significant factor in the very symptoms that we've been taught to accept as a normal part of getting older. The science tells us this is not normal. It's a direct result of our choices. These studies specifically show that women who consume diets that repeatedly spike their blood sugar have a significantly higher risk of developing chronic pain conditions and experiencing a faster rate of cognitive decline. The inflammation literally wears down the protective sheaths around nerve fibers and degrades the cartilage and joints. It's a slow, methodical process of erosion fueled by the food on your plate. Understanding this connection is the first, most powerful step toward taking back control of your health and rewriting your future. The good news in all of this, the wonderful and empowering truth, is that you have the power to stop this process. You can choose to stop feeding the fire. This brings us to the most important part of our conversation, the practical, simple solution. The breakfast food I am urging you to dramatically limit or remove from your diet is any form of highly processed grain, specifically things like instant oatmeal packets, most commercial whole wheat breads, and sugary breakfast cereals. These are the primary culprits behind the inflammatory cycle. These foods have been masterfully marketed to us for decades as sensible and heart-healthy. The reality is that modern wheat has been processed in a way that makes it very different from the grain our grandparents ate, and instant oatmeal is often loaded with sugar and processed to the point where it hits your bloodstream almost as fast as pure sugar. For a woman over 65, these foods are wolves in sheep's clothing, masquerading as health while secretly sabotaging your hormones and your vitality. But I want to be very clear, this is not about deprivation. This is about a joyful and empowering act of smart substitution. It's about replacing the foods that harm you with delicious, nourishing foods that heal you and build you up. It's a shift in mindset from, what can't I have, to, what wonderful foods can I give my body today? This simple change can be the catalyst that transforms how you feel, think, and move through your world every single day. So what should you eat instead? Let's talk about your new allies. Your first and most powerful ally is protein. Start your day with a protein-rich smoothie. Use a high-quality protein powder and blend it with a handful of berries like blueberries or raspberries. Berries are packed with powerful antioxidants that actively fight inflammation. This breakfast stabilizes your blood sugar for hours, preventing the insulin spike and providing steady, reliable energy that will carry you through your morning without the crash. Another fantastic option is 2 or 3 eggs paired with half an avocado. Eggs are a perfect source of protein, and the healthy fats in the avocado are essential for hormonal balance and brain health. Your brain is made up of nearly 60% fat, and giving it these high-quality fats is like providing the premium building blocks it needs to maintain clarity and function. This meal tells your body it is safe, nourished, and doesn't need to be in a state of stress or inflammation. Incorporate foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents on the planet. Add a tablespoon of ground flax seeds or chia seeds to your smoothie, or sprinkle them on your eggs. These tiny seeds are nutritional powerhouses that directly support your brain health and help to soothe the inflammatory fire throughout your entire body. Think of them as your internal fire department, working to calm the system and restore balance. Now, let's pair this nutritional change with a simple yet profoundly effective physical habit, a 20-minute walk every morning, preferably after your breakfast. This isn't about strenuous exercise. It's about gentle, consistent movement. A morning walk is one of the best ways to help regulate your blood sugar. It helps your muscles use up any excess glucose in your bloodstream, further preventing those damaging insulin spikes, and helping to melt away that stubborn cortisol-induced belly fat. Furthermore, this gentle walk acts as a lubricant for your entire system. It gets your blood flowing, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body, from your brain to the cartilage in your knees. It stimulates your lymphatic system, which is your body's garbage disposal service, helping to flush out inflammatory waste products. It is a simple, free, and incredibly powerful tool for reducing stiffness, clearing your mind, and setting a positive, energetic tone for the rest of your day. The final piece of this solution is to approach this journey with patience and self-compassion. Your body has been in a state of inflammation for years, and it will take time to heal. There will be good days and some days that are more challenging. The key is consistency, not perfection. Every time you choose a nourishing breakfast, every time you take that morning walk, you are casting a vote for your own vitality. You are actively rebuilding your health from the inside out. Let's return to Susan's story. After 2 weeks of swapping her oatmeal for a berry and protein smoothie and starting a gentle morning walk, she came back to my office with a different light in her eyes. She reported that the morning stiffness in her hands had noticeably decreased. She was able to get out of her chair with less pain and had even spent a pain-free half hour in her garden, tending to her beloved roses. It was a small victory, but for her, it was monumental. This initial success gave her the motivation to continue. After a month, the changes were even more profound. The chronic ache in her knees had subsided to a dull, manageable throb. She had more energy in the afternoons and found herself initiating walks with her husband again. He noticed the change immediately, not just in her physical ability but in her spirit. The spark he had missed so much was beginning to return, and their connection was rekindling, along with her health. Susan's journey shows us that reducing pain is not just about physical relief. It's about reclaiming your life. It's about being able to participate again, to engage with your passions, and to connect with the people you love without the constant distraction of pain. It's about restoring a sense of capability and independence. She was no longer just a spectator. She was slowly but surely stepping back onto the field of her own life, feeling stronger and more hopeful than she had in years. And what about Carol? She replaced her morning toast with eggs and avocado and began her 20-minute walks around her neighborhood. The first thing she noticed was not physical, but mental. Within about 10 days, she described the fog as lifting. The moments of fumbling for words became less frequent. She felt a new sense of mental clarity and sharpness that she thought was gone forever. This was the first sign that she was on the right path. This newfound mental clarity had a ripple effect on her confidence. With her mind feeling sharper, her energy levels also began to stabilize. The afternoon crashes became a thing of the past. She started making plans with friends again, and to her delight, she was able to stay engaged and energetic through the entire lunch or outing. She wasn't worried about being a burden anymore because she felt capable and present. The fear that had kept her isolated began to dissolve. After 2 months, Carol took a bold step. She booked a trip. It wasn't to Italy just yet, but a weekend trip to a city she'd always wanted to visit a few states away. This was an act of profound self-trust, a declaration that she was no longer a prisoner to her symptoms. She was reclaiming her dream of adventure, one step at a time. Her story is a powerful testament to the fact that a clear mind and vibrant energy are not determined by age, but by nourishment. These stories are not miracles. They are the natural and predictable result of removing the source of the problem and giving the body the tools it needs to heal itself. Your body possesses an incredible, innate intelligence and a powerful capacity for repair. It is always striving for balance and health. Our job is not to force it, but to simply get out of its way and provide the right conditions for it to thrive. The journey to reclaiming your vitality after 65 is not about a fad diet or an extreme exercise regimen. It is about a fundamental shift in how you care for yourself. It's about understanding that you are a complex, finely tuned biological system that requires specific fuel to function optimally. It's about treating your body with the respect and wisdom it deserves, listening to its signals, and responding with nourishing, healing choices. This path is about more than just reducing aches or clearing brain fog. It is about reclaiming your dignity and your sense of self. It is about waking up in the morning feeling capable, clear-headed, and ready to engage with the day. It is about having the energy to play with your grandchildren, the confidence to pursue a new hobby, and the freedom to live your life on your own terms, without being held back by your physical or mental state. You have accumulated a lifetime of wisdom, experience, and love. This chapter of your life is not an epilogue. It is a time to be fully present, to share your gifts, and to experience joy. You deserve to feel fully alive, vibrant, and confident in your own skin. The light inside of you has not gone out. It has simply been obscured by the smoke of inflammation. You now have the knowledge to clear that smoke and let your inner brilliance shine brightly once again. Your body has not betrayed you. It has been sending you signals, asking for your help in the clearest way it knows how. That ache in your knees, that fog in your mind. These are not signs of failure, but loving invitations to listen more deeply. Vitality is not just the absence of disease. It is the feeling of energy, clarity, and pure joy that comes from being in harmony with your own biology. Reclaiming your health after 65 is not a miracle reserved for a select few. It is the beautiful, predictable result of removing the things that cause harm and generously providing the nourishment your body has been crying out for. You have the power to become your own greatest healer, and it all begins with the very next meal you choose to eat. This chapter of your life is meant to be lived with passion and purpose, not simply endured with quiet resignation. You have accumulated a lifetime of wisdom, navigated countless challenges, and nurtured generations. Now is your time to thrive, to share your unique gifts with the world, unburdened by pain and fatigue. You deserve to feel wonderful in your own skin, to wake up with a clear mind and a body that is ready for adventure. There is a brilliant and resilient light inside of you, a spark that has never gone out. Your only job now is to learn how to shield it from the winds of inflammation and misinformation, allowing it to burn more brightly than ever before. If this message of hope and empowerment resonates deep within you, and you feel ready to reclaim the vibrant woman you know you are, I invite you to join a growing community of women who are making the same powerful choice. Declare your commitment to yourself right now by typing the word vitality in the comments below. This is more than just a comment. It is a statement to yourself and to the world that your health is your priority. Know that you are not alone on this journey. Every woman who adds her voice is a beacon of support, reminding us all that we are in this together, rewriting our stories one nourishing meal at a time. Let this be the start of a revolution in how we view women's health after 65. Subscribe to this channel and become part of our movement. Share this video with a sister, a mother, or a friend who has ever felt dismissed or invisible, who deserves to know that she holds the power to feel alive and well again. Together, we can dismantle the myth that decline is inevitable and build a new narrative, one of strength, clarity, and boundless vitality. Because feeling your absolute best has no expiration date, and your most vibrant days are not behind you. They are waiting for you to claim them.